I'm winging it here, dog. What are you doing?
All right, Mike, we're back in your office, which I see you have cleaned up very nice and neat.
Yep.
We're breaking down the finances for Rosewood, our property in Langhorne. Give us a rundown of what you think we did, how we did.
All right, so we bought the house October 2020. It was like November, basically.
October 22nd of 2021.
Yeah. We finished the property, what was it, early June?
First weekend of June.
Yeah, something like that. So approximately 6 months it took us.
Approximately 8 months. Because June is 6, okay, 7.5 months, whatever.
Okay. 7.5 months it took us. And here's the finances that went into it, what we spent, all that stuff. So let's get to the purchase price. Purchase price was $280 for the property, a little high, but in this real estate market, you gotta pay what you gotta pay for the.
It was listed for like $300, right?
It was listed for $300. They had offers up to $325 mortgage contingent.
Right.
We got it for $280 on a cash offer.
Right.
So I was happy with it. I mean, obviously everyone's not from our area. $280, a little high, but for that neighborhood, great price. Hard to find a property, for that price. Put it in comparison, they sold a empty lot down the street for $200 something several months later. So
and our neighbor just sold their house for. Do you remember what they sold?
I mean, they listed for $375, but they sold it in a hot second. They had to have gotten way over.
They were under contract in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. So, but bottom line is we purchased it for $280 after closing costs and everything. That number came because you got prepay insurance, title, all this other stuff,
taxes and stuff.
Yeah, all the jumbo that they throw in there. It was $287, $720, and then I did, since I am my own real estate agent, I got I think it was 2.5% they offered, which is standard for this hot real estate market. After my brokerage fees came out on that, I got a commission check for $4,210. You can subtract that from the purchase price, which is always a nice little gimme for when I buy a property, because I get $4,000 check written to me after I purchase the property. But so it was $287 minus the commission, and then we dive into our numbers for what it costs to basically completely remodel the place, short of roofing and siding and outside. All right, so our contractors that we paid for the $22,830 was HVAC, floors, drop ceiling, our spackle guy, my buddy Orlando for the electric. I had my buddy Steve, Tile Forever Steve we call him because it never gets done, but he got it done. We hired him for the backsplash, just for the backsplash on the kitchen, and then we hired my buddy Austin for a day.
So those are all the subcontractors.
All the contractors' numbers.
Majority of the work we did.
Yeah, but those were subcontractors. That came out to $22,830.50. Then we go into the food bill, which Rich was disgusted about. He's not going to let this happen again in the next house. We spent $668 on food. It adds up. Those amount of pizzas add up over time,
They add up real fast.
And coffees and all that stuff. It adds up quick, and that was only a 6-month span. Our services, they include PICO, insurance, taxes, dumpsters, countertop people, the water bill, sewer bill, stuff like that. One thing you got to understand when you buy a house cash and you remodel the house and you're not living in it, it's not your primary residence or something, you have to get specific insurance for that. So you can't get regular homeowner's insurance for a property that you have demoed inside, because if it burns down overnight, the insurance company's going to come in and say, whoa, what's going on here? You're not living here. You shouldn't have this homeowner's insurance. You have to get specific homeowner's insurance. They call it builder's risk, and you need to get general liability. What we ended up doing, our policies were, the liability was for a year. That was pretty cheap, and that's not prorated, so you didn't get that back. But our builder's risk was 6 months. Well, we ran into 7.5 months. 7 months, the property was almost done. What we ended up doing was getting vacant like a remodeling but vacant policy or something.
Right. There
Whatever.
wasn't anything serious going on at that
Yeah,
point.
and we were able to only pay like a month and a half, and we got some of our money back. Whatever. It wasn't that much money. You just have to cover yourself with proper insurance. I have a good insurance guy. I let him know what we're doing. He shoots me a number out. I'm not an insurance guy. I trust this guy in terms of that. But that was part of our services that we had to pay for. Now we go into materials. Home Depot, Lowe's,
84 lumber.
84 lumber, all them places.
This is the biggest chunk.
This is the biggest chunk. This came out to $30,000, $713.35. So that was for the materials. So for the total of all contractor, food, services, materials came out to $62,675.11. Which brought our grand total after we purchased it, after we paid the closing cost, $350,395.92 minus my commission, $4,210. So we got it bought, we got it fixed. Now it's time to do the refinance.
Pretty impressive, I think about it now, because we did all of that. One thing we did do that's kind of interesting is for a lot of the materials, I had a Capital One credit card that offered 0% interest for like 9 months or something. Mm-hmm. So we actually signed up for that promo at the beginning of the project, and then I added Mike as a user on the credit card account. So we both had a credit card, and that's what we used as we went to and from Home Depot, Lowe's, 84 lumber, whatever it was. That way we have all of our purchases, or a large majority of our purchases, on one credit card, and then we're able to let that balance sit for a while. I mean, we're obviously paying off some of it as we go, but it gave us
we can only go up to $15,000 on the card.
Yeah, or
but
16,000 or something. Yeah.
That was no interest for, it was like till August. We finished the property in June.
Right.
We never had to take that money out of our pocket.
Right.
At least $15,000 we didn't have to take out of our pocket.
So we were floated about $15,000, but the rest of it we paid
for no interest.
With no interest. The rest of it we paid completely by ourselves.
Out of pocket.
Out of pocket.
But yeah, so we got the brand new house. It's all remodeled. We're done. We got our tenants ready. One of the nice things when you go to do a refinance on an investment loan is that it's nice to have a tenant in place to show the mortgage company, hey, we already got this rented and it's already cash flowing.
Yeah, they're going to want to see the lease.
Yeah, they don't have to see the lease,
right.
But if you don't have enough income on your back end for your regular job or whatever, they might say, all right, we're not going to give you this loan.
Right.
But if you got a renter in there already showing cash flow, they're going to give you the loan.
Mm-hmm.
It's already shown that you're making money on the thing. So we shopped some mortgage companies, some banks, credit unions, blah blah blah. We landed on this one. It was a bank, and they had some kind of portfolio loan to where we didn't have to take out 80% to get the best rate, and they gave us a great interest rate for their portfolio loan.
They offered, the big issue when we were refinancing was the interest rates had just jacked up a lot because we were looking in June. When we first started the project, we probably could have gotten an interest rate around 4.5%. By the time we got done, the rate that we got was 6.125%, which is actually really good for what we got. At the time. And it's a 30-year loan. And we didn't have to take out the entire 80%. Some people, some different banks and credit unions and stuff we talked to, they wanted us to take out all the equity that they allow you to take out. So basically 80%, which we didn't want to do because now the interest rates are so high, our payment on the mortgage was going to be higher, would have been higher than what we're collecting on rent, or be really, really close. Or
you just don't cash flow as much.
Right.
So
we ended up taking property appraised for $425, and we ended up taking about 65% out for a loan of $314,000.
Yeah.
All right, so I double checked this, and our appraisal actually came out to $420,000, not $425,000. But our mortgage was still $314,000. That's the amount of money we actually pulled out. So when you crunch those numbers, our loan to value was just a smidge under 75%.
Yeah, so we did that. We got the 6.125 interest rate, pretty good interest rate. Our mortgage payment comes out to $2,446.13. Also, I forgot to mention, the check made out to us at closing after we prepay our taxes, the
Closing costs.
title, and blah 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 blah. The cash at close that we got a check written to us for was $301,534.39.
So we had to pay pretty much $13,000 to take that loan.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised, but that stuff adds up. The school tax, the property tax, the insurance, the title, the
appraisal.
Yeah,
everything.
all that junk adds up pretty quick. Now a big chunk of that, what'd you say, 13,000? A big chunk of that, I mean, what's our taxes, 5,000 or
Something
whatever?
Like, yeah, it was like 3,500 we had to
Yeah,
pay.
and then you got property insurance, which is 1,400 or something. So like, you take a little bit of a hit on it, but what are you gonna do? But anyway, so we came out to cash at closing was 301,534.39. If you subtract that from our grand total of what we bought it and what we put into it, that comes out to $48,861.53. So we got a brand new remodeled house, and we are cash flowing.
Yeah, so go back to that. So you took a
Yeah,
little detour. So our rent or our mortgage payment is $2,446.13. We're collecting rent for $3,200.
our cash flow is $753.87. That's what we get every month put in our pocket. So you come down to, after what we bought it for, the money we put in was $350,395.92. Our cash in our pocket after we refied it was $301,534.39. Total out of our pocket to buy this house that we now is rehabbed, brand new electric and heater and brand new everything short of a roof and the siding and a driveway. We spent $48,861.
No. $48,861.53.
53 cents. Yep. Now our cash flow is $753.87. It will take 65 months until we get that $48,000 back, 48,000 and change back.
And that's if
into our
everything
pocket.
stays the same.
If everything
as it
stays
is
the
now.
same,
Yeah.
rent might go up.
But we might have stuff to do on the house eventually.
Yeah,
Whatever it is.
it goes back and forth. So probably about 5 years, we'll get all the money we put out, and we'll be cash flowing $753, possibly more, maybe a little bit less, whatever. But the house will hopefully go up in value, like real estate always does. Another thing is, when we got it appraised during the refi, it appraised for $425. So I think we could have sold it for more than $425. The appraisals on refis are usually a little low because the appraiser's not going to stick his neck out on the line for an appraisal that, we're not taking 80% of $425 out anyway, so he's not going to stick his neck out on the line. I think we could have got a little bit more. We could have possibly put between $75,000 and maybe $110,000 in our pocket, maybe a little bit more, whatever. But we could have sold it, done that, and what it'd take us 6 months as a part-time job.
Yeah.
That's a nice little nut to make.
Yeah.
But we're looking at it long-term to where we get cash flow in, our property rises in value, and the house pays for itself. And possibly in 10, 20, 30 years, we sell for $300,000 more or $400,000. Who knows with real estate?
Right.
But meanwhile, we have cash flow in our pocket. Now we take the money from the refinance, and we're going to go buy another place, and just keep it moving. And then we're going to buy that place, maybe fix that up, depending on what the price we buy for, whatever. We might cash flow more. We might cash flow less. We might flip that property. We might keep it. We have a bunch of different options here on this property. So, this is the first property Rich is coming with me on, but I'm up to, when I settle in this house, hopefully on Friday, I'm up to 4.5 houses at this point. Half being the one I'm partnered with Rich on.
Right. The Langhorne house.
And it's all about the buying, refinancing, renting, and just keep moving on. The whatever. So
buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. Yep.
But this one, it wasn't the biggest home run, But I like it.
Double.
What's that?
I would say it's like a double.
It's a double, but what I like is it's a rental in a better area to where the property value is going to go up better, I think, and the renters aren't going to be as much of a pain to deal with. When you get into lower income neighborhoods, it's harder to find a good renter. Hopefully the higher end neighborhoods, people make a little more money, or they really want to stay there for their kids' sake in that school district. So, they make it work or whatever, but
stay for a long period of time.
But yeah, definitely, it was a decent little project.
Happy with it, but hopefully we do a little better on the next one.
Yeah. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments or ask DM Rich. He'll be glad to answer them. And that's Mike and Rich signing out for the Langhorne property.